Middle-aged grind, welcome back. It's been about a week or so since I did a video, and the title of today's video, it's 7 habits of people who maintain financial stability despite an unpredictable economy. I think it goes pretty well and what's going on as of late as we sit here on April 10th of 2025, and maybe some of these things can help you out, and I'm going to get right into it. By the way, I read this online. Title of this article is by Rachel Vaughn. Rachel Vaughn. Number 1, live within your means. This goes without saying. How many people you know don't know what they spend? Oh, I just figure it out, and oh, I got to get this, get that. Said this before in this channel. Started using this Every Dollar app by Ramsey Solutions probably about 3 or 4 years ago. And the first goal of this, it's totally free if you want to use it. Give them a free plug. If you take 3 months and just input everything you're spending in every category before you try to budget per se, right? What needs to happen there is you need to see how your money's being spent, right? That's what needs to happen in the first thing. And that's what it does. So you can put some goals there, but I would try to just dig into that and just see how you're living first if you haven't do it. And you'll be surprised. You're probably spending a lot more in some areas than you thought, and maybe not as much as in others. But that's really good, and it really helps you to establish living within your means if you can create a budget and try to stick to it. But it takes a good 3 months, I can tell you, before you get that thing down pat. Number 2, they have an emergency fund. What's an emergency fund? Well, emergency, it can be a lot of different things. What's not an emergency? Let's go into that. Christmas, birthdays, graduations, that kind of thing, vacations, if something you do and plan for and budget for. Those aren't emergencies. That comes the same time every year, right? Emergencies could be medical bills, health emergency, car maintenance things. I had a shed fire, had insurance, but had to wait a minute, and then had to wait for the approval with the mortgage company. Have an emergency fund there to get the contractors and to buy the supplies to get started. That's what it's good for. When times get tough, you fall back on that. I think a good rule of thumb is don't keep your emergency fund in your checking account, and don't necessarily keep it in a savings account that's tied to your checking per se with the same bank. There's a lot of good high yield savings accounts out there. Online, a lot of times you can find stuff in today's environment getting in the 4% range, and having that separate to where you can access it within a day or two. But not necessarily right at there where you can grab onto it for any little thing where, something might not be a real emergency. You can get to it easy. Number 3, this was really interesting. They diversify their incomes. Average millionaires in the United States have 7 sources of income. What are they? Well, number 1, probably, and if they're the age, Social Security. Then it talks about having income producing portfolios, dividends, interest, banking products, rental income, pensions, online businesses, side gigs. Average millionaire has 7 different sources of income. And it can be multiple of those things. You can have multiple pensions. You can have multiple different accounts that generate dividends, interest, rental income properties, side hustles. So they don't rely on just one paycheck, most people who are millionaires. I thought that was really interesting. Number 4, and you've heard this before, it's called prioritize saving, investing. Paying yourself first. And most people who work someplace, they have 401k, that kind of stuff. I don't. I'm a self-employed, mentioned that before, State Farm agent. So I have to plan for my own retirement. But one of the things I've done several years ago, I get paid twice a month. And when I get paid, first thing I do, we fund IRAs for my wife and I, our health savings account, and our savings account emergency fund. That is the first thing that comes out of the check. Then taxes, everything else, bills get paid, but you got to prioritize that. Good rule of thumb is saving 15% of your gross income. If you can do that, you can invest that 15%, you'll probably be well off in retirement years. Number 5, they keep learning and adapting. You'll never know everything. You'll never be at the pinnacle and just know everything. Rules change, tax laws change, investing rules change, environments change. Always keep learning. There's so much stuff out there for free now. We really are an information age with the internet and YouTube. There's research a lot of good stuff out there and continue to educate and learn what's going on. Number 6, they avoid unnecessary debt. Think credit cards, think car loans, student loans. If all possible, stay away. Now, there are some people, look, you put money on a card and you pay it off every month. If you really are one of those people, probably using the points, you're not carrying balances, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, that's how a lot of people, they get benefits and perks out of that. But if you're carrying balances, if you open up a little store, credit cards at the mall just to get extra 20% off and not, paying it off in the full month, car loans and just keeping that around forever, as you get older, you should be getting away from that and just trying to pay for cars in cash. That's one thing that'll really, really work in the long run. And number 7, they plan for the long term. They set goals for certain things. And the big 2 for us is retirement, number 1, and kids' education. We are saving for both. It's something I look at, especially on an annually basis. You get updated Social Security statements. You can kind of look year over year where your investment's at. One of the big things that people do, and I've talked to this about many people, and I know recently there's a lot of volatility in the market. It's up, it's down. Oh my God, it's down. Oh my God. I think more people need to look at their investment portfolios more like people who own a group of rental properties do. Let's say you own rental properties, right? Let's say you own 10 rental properties, okay? What is that landlord more focused on? The actual net worth of those rental properties on a month-to-month basis or a day-to-day basis like the stock market does, or a monthly income generated cash flow of that portfolio? It's the latter of the two, right? So if I'm a rental property owner, I'm looking at, okay, this month I net profited $15,000 in income. It's not like, oh, my portfolio is worth $1 million. I could sell all 10 of them for, and each worth $100,000. Oh, but this month they went down to 80 and it's only worth 800. Oh my God, I couldn't sleep at night. They don't look at it that way. And I don't think enough people, and I had a conversation with someone who's about to retire into this year, and he told me, well, my financial advisor doesn't believe in dividends. And I'm like, oh, really? And I'm like, and you don't want to get in an argument, but dividends, guys, it's not Santa Claus, okay? It's real things. It's profits company pays per share of stock owned, not per stock price. And in rare occasions, do companies, it does happen, cut dividends. You ever heard of dividend aristocrats? That's companies that consistently pay dividends over 50 years, okay? And grown the dividend. So take a look at that and take a look at this in here. And I hope this helps you here get through these tough times. And take a look at that. And I'll see you real soon on the Middle Age Grind.